All right, we're in the van, all buttoned up, have everything ready to roll because first thing in the morning, we are heading out of this camp and we have a big border crossing. But I was talking to Kurt this afternoon and we kind of have not explained what has happened. But over the past 2 or 3 weeks, our journey has changed drastically. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you our original plan. Now, right here is Machu Picchu. We're out here somewhere in the Amazon right now. Our original plan was to not even come out here, but to go back down through Cusco, come down here to Rainbow Mountain and Lake Titicaca and cross the border into Bolivia, where there's big things like the salt flats, there's some jungle up here, but our main goal was gonna be to drive across because we have a very important destination right here. But to be completely honest with you guys, we are slap wore out from these Andes mountains. We have been in them since about here in Colombia. Andes. I mean, we've just been up and down from 5,000 to 15,000 feet. Here's where we found out Vanna has altitude sickness. We're just wore out, so we want a change of pace. We have decided that rather than do this route and then after this continue down over here through Chile and back and forth, the traditional Pan-American highway route that most people do, we have decided that from here we are not going back into Peru. We are skipping Rainbow Mountain. It's a beautiful place. You can Google it if you need to see it. For now, we are skipping Lake Titicaca. We may see it again later, but we are coming up here and we are crossing the border into Brazil. We are going to drive north of Bolivia. We are going to skip it all together. We have some amazing things to show y'all in here, but in about 1 month, we reach a very important place. Now, sometimes we get asked by you guys what drives our schedule. Usually, it's just how long the country will let us stay. But right here, this spot, and I'm not giving it away. If some of you want to know, you're going to have to Google and see what is right here in Brazil. But you need to be there at a certain time of the year to see what is so incredibly special there. I will give y'all a hint. It is an incredible animal that we are going to take y'all with us to go see. So we have to be there. After that, we're going to come down through here. We're going to come down into Argentina. We're going to come down the coast. We are still going all the way to the tip, the most southern point of South America. And don't worry, we will come back up and we will hit the Patagonia Mountains again as we do Chile and Argentina. And we will take you to the salt flats before we shoot over here and have some amazing beach time. I know that's a lot to take in, but we flipped our schedule upside down and I thought we needed to show y'all. So now we're gonna wake up in the morning and we're going to Brazil. Vanna is on the dash. It is 6:21:22 in the morning. We're up bright and early. The van is ready to roll. Gee, you're going to a new country today. Here we go, guys. 12th country. It's time to go cross over into Brazil. We do have a 4-hour drive before we get there. The reason we're leaving so super early is the Brazil side of the border does close from 12 to 2. We're gonna try to get there and get across before they close for lunch. Let's roll. We're leaving Puerto Maldonado, the gateway to the Amazon here in Peru, crossing this big river. We do need to stop and fill up with some diesel, but other than that, Kurt's got some hard driving to get us to that border.
We're going. You guys, I am super excited. It's a new country, and you know, we've done this quite a few times by now, but I'm also a little nervous. This is possibly going to be the hardest country we've had yet to explore. And the main reason is They don't speak Spanish there.
Or English.
Or English. All that effort to learn Spanish, and now in Brazil they speak Portuguese. And so, like crazy people up last night studying for their exam, we were trying to learn a few terms of Portuguese, like hi, I'm sorry we don't know how to speak Portuguese.
Bom dia is good morning.
I think Snow's ahead of me, but we really don't speak a lick of Portuguese. So this one's going to be interesting. Naturally, we've got all the other stuff of all the paperwork through the border. We're pretty good at that by now. We also have new different kind of money to figure out and all the other stuff, but I am super pumped.
It is a new country. We've been on the road for 3 hours, which means we're about a little over an hour away from the border. It's been fairly uneventful. We've gone through a few cool little towns, a few cow jams, some construction. When we were doing our research on the section of Brazil that we need to drive through once we cross the border, we learned that it's an area where the Amazon forest is being harvested for timber. Whether legal or illegal, we do not know, but it's definitely an area of concern environmentally because they're taking so much of the Amazon forest down. And as we get closer to the border, we are passing definitely logging trucks here in Peru with loads of big, giant trees on them, right, Curdy?
Yeah.
The GPS says we are 7 minutes from the border, which means for me, the border butterflies just kicked in. So not only do we have a serious language issue that's going to happen in this border, there is not as much information on our go-to websites when I'm doing research on the requirements and the criteria and everything it takes to cross the border. There's a little bit, but not very much, so that makes the butterflies a little bigger. I hope I have everything ready for this border, but we really won't know until we get there. Are you ready, Kurt?
Let's go, let's do this. I'm not nervous at all.
He's always ready. One of us has to be nervous, and that's me. Let's go. I guess this is as good a time as any to say goodbye to Peru, since we're 4 minutes from the border. Peru has been an amazing country full of tons of cool adventures. My absolute favorite hike to date, Pueblos de los Muertos, the longest wave beach, Machu Picchu, all the ruins.
Beautiful, dramatic scenery, some cool wildlife, very unique.
Crazy Andes Mountains, but
difficult driving
and long drives between destinations. That part I'm not gonna miss. But thank you, Peru, for letting us stay here for almost 3 months, welcoming us to your beautiful country. It was a blast. All right, we are checking out of Peru. They stopped us here at the aduana, which is, I could call it similar to the DMV back in the States. They checked our temporary import permit on our van, compared it to our license plate, opened up the back door to kind of see what was in the van. Now we're waiting for a minute. But I think the van is about to be checked out of Peru. And then we will check out of Peru.
Yes, that's migration up there.
Okay, we're getting close, guys.
It is official. We are in no man's land. That means we have checked out of Peru and now we need to try to get into Brazil. We no longer have our temporary import pass and we have our exit stamp for Peru.
Let's go to Brazil. All right, Kurt has gone into this store where hopefully we will be able to change the rest of our Peruvian soles into Brazilian, I think it's reals. We have to learn how to say it. So, changing the money. So we can document how long this border crossing takes. We started at 10 o'clock at the exit of Peru. It is 10:20. We are officially checked out of Peru, the van and us, and Curt is in this store changing our Peruvian money to Brazilian money. So far, things are going well. But the exit is always the easy side. You'll keep your fingers crossed. The entry into Brazil goes as smooth as the exit did from Peru. We got Brazilian money.
I have 850 reales.
Oh, there we go, guys. I don't know what that means, but hold on, I'll tell you. So the easy way to do it, it won't be exact, but basically to turn Brazilian money into US money, you divide by 5. So we have around 150 to 160 US dollars worth of Brazilian money. So we crossed the border like 1.5 kilometers ago, and we still have a little ways to go till we get to the Brazilian check-in. So technically, I think we're in Brazil, but it's one of those borders where you have to drive quite a ways. Oh, that's the Peru welcome sign. We're still in no man's land, but we are getting close. All right, we are crossing a river.
Which is generally the border.
So hopefully somewhere up here, we'll be able to check into Brazil. There it is, guys. The big green and yellow flag. Here we are. Welcome to Brazil. Let's get checked in. Woo! Me and Curt are officially checked into Brazil. Our passports are stamped. There was a very nice lady at the immigration office who spoke English. She gave us 90 days. And then we walk right across the road to, I think here it's called the Receita. It's not called Aduana anymore. But the guy there also spoke English, which was super amazing again. And he just took an original copy or an original title, an original registration. He did a quick look at the license plate and he said, wait 10 minutes and I'll bring you your paper.
So one problem with the language we're recognizing already is all the alphabet doesn't have the same pronunciation. And so those of you who know Spanish or some Spanish know the pronunciation in Spanish is not the same in English. Well, guess what? Portuguese is completely different. So even if we can see the word,
we gotta learn how to read it. Yeah. But we'll figure it out because we're in Brazil.
Brazil!
Woo! Now, next up, phone cards. We need cell phone service here in Brazil. Find a camp. We're gonna do as much driving as we can today to get to a bigger city where we can get the cell phone card and maybe find a grocery store, see what that's gonna be like, a whole new grocery shopping experience. So, let's do some driving. In
Another
Brazil,
country.
12th country in the van. I'm so freaking excited. Last thing I'm gonna say about the border crossing. It was friendly, easy, and only took 1 hour, both sides. That might be a record.
Might be a record.
It's close. That was good. First thing, we're gonna fill up with diesel and try to figure out what it costs here. We are also on the lookout for water. We're full of fuel, we're all checked in. We are eastbound, driving east along the northern side of the Bolivian border. I think it's time to look for some Brazilian food to eat for lunch.
Obrigado.
That means thank you. The ladies at the gas station were very nice and very amused with us trying to speak Portuguese. It's coming out as a mix of English and Spanish.
And a lot of made-up words.
We'll figure it out. And we'll smile and laugh while we're doing it so everybody can laugh at us too. We have been driving in Brazil for a little over 2 hours. It has been nothing but pasture land and cows. A lot of ranch land scattered with very few little ranch houses. But we have finally made it to our first town. We think this is called Brasilia. It is also right over there, a border where if you wanted to go into the northern part of Bolivia, you could. But there is no way we're crossing 2 borders in one day. We're sticking with Brazil. first order of business is find something to freaking eat. We're hungry. All right, it was difficult. Mainly the language barrier, but we have found somewhere to eat. Looks like we found a buffet, which is awesome because I'm hungry.
Yeah. So it looks like you get your food and then
And you pay by the weight. All right, let's do it.
All right, so we stumbled up on a Brazilian buffet. There's so many different things we got here. And of course, I had to try a little bite of everything. So we got 3 or 4 salads, some different meats, eggs, different sides. I'm so excited to try this food. This is like...
Yeah, this is crazy cool. But like Kurt said, we don't know what it is. Like, I don't know what this is. I have 2 different kinds of beans over some rice.
This is really good. It's like almost like a chicken
I'm
salad.
hoping this is some sort of cheesy cream thing. This is some sort of cooked pickle stuff. I don't know. We got to get into this, guys.
Fresh bite, delicious.
I clearly loved 90% of mine, and Kurt loved 99.9% of his.
This fish was gross, really bad. Everything else was amazing.
We are stuffed, we are happy, and another thing, this restaurant is even air conditioned.
Loving Brazil.
Brazil is getting off on a bang.
Lunch was delicious. It was $20, it was about $19. So a little less than $10 for 2 of us. For all that food, basically a lot of meat and drinks. So I was very satisfied. I think Snow really enjoyed it as well. Since really kind of the far eastern portions of Peru, and since we've been in Brazil, majority of the cows have been sort of the white, like Brahma-like cows, I think, with the big hump on the back of their neck. We're starting to get into a little bit more variety, but that's all we saw for quite some time. We unceremoniously left the Brazilian state of Amazonia, and we headed into the southern state of, I believe it's called Rodonda or Rodondia, something like that. And anyway, this is the town. We're going to a city called Rio Branco. This is where we will try to get our SIM cards for our cell phone, and also will likely be our first grocery trip, and any other things we need to do, go to the bank, any other things we need to do when we first get into a country. Did we tell you there's a lot of cows here?
A lot of cows. We are about 30 minutes from the city we're trying to get to for the night. It has been one heck of a day. We were driving along out here in the middle of this cattle country, and Kurt said, there hasn't been any police stops. 5 minutes later, not even 5 minutes later, it wasn't a police checkpoint. We had a police SUV spin around and stop, straddle across the road, get out and wave us over.
Hola.
Boa tarde.
No Português.
No.
Solo Inglés.
Poquito
Poco
español.
español.
For a minute, it was scary.
They
But-
blocked the road.
Yeah,
and they had big guns.
Yeah, but they were just, I think, incredibly curious. One of them did speak English. They asked a lot of questions. They were very friendly. So it all turned out okay. But when you get a police SUV just straddle the road in front of you, get out with big guns and wave you over, makes you take a deep breath for a minute. But we're almost to our town, where we're going to try to go to the mall tonight to get our cell phone SIM cards, and then we have to find somewhere to camp in that town. It's been a long day, and it's not quite over. All right, we have found some sort of a little mall area that we think has the cell phone store in it that we need. There's our parking, and the good news is when we get done here, we think we have a place we can camp for the night that's less than a mile away. Let's hope this goes smooth. It has been one long day.
Long day. Easy border crossing, but a long day.
It looks like A legit mall. Whew. Alright, things did not work out as easy as we had hoped. Apparently in Brazil, you cannot get a SIM for your cell phone for Brazil unless you have a Brazilian resident number, which we do not have. We only have passaportes. But the two ladies in the Claro store were very friendly. She said tomorrow we go down to Centro, downtown, and there are girls down there that will sell us SIM cards without having the Brazilian number. And she showed us on the map where to go. So, while we were here in the mall, we took advantage of a little taste of home. I got a chicken sandwich, Kurt got a Whopper. We are leaving the shopping mall and we are heading less than a mile down the road where we really hope we can camp. Obviously from this video clip you can tell it has gotten dark on us. So hopefully we don't have to drive any farther than this camp and that it works out just fine. And then in the morning, we get up, we head to Centro, and we're looking for some off the books, I guess, black market SIM cards.
Day one, dark caught in Brazil.
Yep, we're caught in the dark, but I think we're gonna be okay. And tomorrow, we're going to do some crazy shopping so we have cell phones. But with that, we'll see y'all in the morning.
Good morning, everyone. Day 2 in Brazil. I don't know if we told you yesterday. I think we did, but one thing about Brazil is, well, two things. One thing, I keep calling it Colombia. I don't know why. And the second thing is, it is hot.
It's hot here.
It's hot.
Feels like Florida.
So we had a coverless night last night trying to fight the heat, but we're okay. We slept pretty good. But we got to tackle these SIM cards, which means we got to go to the black market in Centro and try to get somebody. Apparently you're supposed to have a Brazilian ID to get a SIM card, so we got to figure this phone thing out. Potentially another long day. We don't know, but we're going to get some stuff done.
Let's go. Last night, you may remember we rolled in late and it was dark. And we camped at this department store called Haven. Kurt went in and walked around, said it was kind of maybe like a Marshall's. But what's a little funny to us is there's a giant Statue of Liberty in the parking lot. So we camped with a little touch of home last night.
Y'all are in luck. To get the cell phone chip, we had to come down here to the market area.
Where we ended up parking the van, Kurt may have already told you, we don't want to get too far away from it. It feels incredibly safe, but we're long, we stick out just a little bit, so I'm sticking here with the van just to kind of keep an eye on it while Kurt goes to do the black market SIM card chip stuff. But we are right in front of a grocery store. I'm gonna step in here and see if I can find anything we need. I can still see the van from the store. So let's go. We're dividing and conquering.
We're in the market area. This is where they told us we needed to come to get the cell phone chip. So we'll get to check out a Brazilian market on day 1. Let's go over here and see if we can find where we can get this chip. So there's all sorts of restaurants here. Hola. Restaurants here. These are some kind of white arepas. Made with rice, maybe?
All right, it was not a grocery store that would let us get everything we need, But I still picked up a few things just to kind of see the pricing. So I got toilet paper, paper towels, trash bags. I snuck in some Oreos. I couldn't help it. 2 Cokes for the road today. A little bag of oatmeal. I hope that I can use this for Coffee Mate in my coffee in the morning. Peru, we were only able to get real milk, and in a van, that's hard to store. We're really low on kitty food. These are not our preferred ones, but I grabbed 4 in case we can't find any at the grocery store later. Hair conditioner. One thing that is interesting is we've been able to find Pantene in every country. All right, and then since Central America, we have been drinking these little mixed drinks called Sea Light. And you just mix one in with 1 liter of water and it flavors it up. Orange has been our favorite. We have been drinking Sea Light since maybe Mexico, but for sure Central America. But what has happened is now there is no more Sea Light. So I grabbed a few flavors of what Brazil sells. We can try them, see which one we like. This, flashback to when I was a kid. I'm really wondering if it tastes like the Tang I used to drink. But anyway, that's what I bought. Grand total, just under $20. 97 reals.
All right, it looks like there are some little cell phone dealers over here. Huh. This is gonna be harder than I thought. This is the terminal.
While Kurt has gone to get the cell phone SIM cards, I wanted to pop in and explain something to you guys. For the first half of the trip, we had the Google Fi service, which is amazing because it covers you in over 170 countries. When you cross a border, it automatically knows. Google has deals with all the different cell phone providers in different countries, and it just works seamlessly, awesome and amazing, and we loved it. The problem is, Google Fi service is intended for people that live in the United States and travel often, but not travel full time. So our account got flagged because we had not been back in the United States in so long, and they have canceled, several months ago, they canceled our international data plan. Now, it sucked, but we can't be mad about it. It's the rules, and we knew it. We knew it would eventually happen, and it has happened. So now our Google Fi does not automatically kick in, and we don't always have cell phone service on our phones. When we cross a border, we literally lose internet until we can find a SIM card store in that country, buy a new SIM card, put it in our cell phone, turn it on, then we will have internet in that country. Now, both of our current cell phones have the ability to have 2 cell phone SIM cards in them. So we were able to keep our Google Fi service just for phone and text, which helps us keep our phone number back in the United States, which everyone knows is important. So we have our texting ability with our Google Fi, and then we have to buy the data in each individual country. And it is honestly quite a pain in the butt. And when you first cross into a country and all of a sudden you don't have internet, that means no maps, no research, no finding out where the bank is for ATMs, nothing. So it's a bit scary to be without data.
So if you want a SIM card, you come over here to the terminal center, and these ladies right here will help you out. They're absolutely amazing. They're awesome. Thank you. Gracias. All right, so this is the market. That was actually really simple. Thank you for the nice lady at the Claro store who helped me out. Second day in Brazil, update on the new country. So we've been doing a lot of driving, guys. We've seen a lot of countryside. As you know, it's been mostly cows and pasture land until we got to Rio Branco. Confirmed my initial thoughts that based on the last country we were in, it's definitely more modern. The people here are really nice and helpful, which is clutch because we don't speak Portuguese, and it doesn't sound anything like Spanish. So as you guys know, yesterday was a long drive day. We were just calculating probably over 10 hours of driving, not including just moving and doing chores, today it's a 6.5 hour drive total to sort of our next little area where we want to find a spot. So yeah, a lot of countryside today, guys.
But the kitties did get a walk this morning. They're both chilling out there on the couch. They're doing great.
Because if you turn north right here, you head to Manaus. And Manaus is a very important city on the Amazon River to the north of here. Why can't we go up there, Snow?
Alright, so between here and there are sections of the land that are being illegally mined, illegally harvested for timber, and there is a big battle between people trying to save the Amazon forest and the people, quite honestly, trying to destroy the Amazon forest. And that goes on all down through here. But if you turn north and head up into this area up here, and you can't see it from this road, this is a safe, main, well-traveled road, but just north of here is an area that is not safe to travel. It's not safe to drive through. It is, people die, they find people murdered in the ditch. It's somewhere you don't want to go. So we know that, we researched that, we know the areas we cannot go. Just up here, we will start to turn south and get farther and farther away from that area. But we just kind of wanted to let you know that just a few miles that way probably is something that resembles the original Wild Wild West. There is a battle going on up there. All right, it is lunchtime. We've been driving most of the morning. We stopped to top off our diesel, and we found a gas station buffet. How is it?
It's okay. It's not as good as the other day, but it's, it'll work. It's quick, and we need to get on the road anyway.
That's right. We pushed through, guys. We made it to our original goal. It's about 20 minutes away. It should be a camp. We have no problem staying there. But I just looked over and told Kurt that on the past 2 days, driving through this long stretch of Brazil, that I think we've seen hundreds of thousands of cows. And he's like, I think we've seen more. So he asked the Google. And we just learned that Brazil has, out of all the countries, it is the second country with the most cows. It has over 230 million cows. The only country that has more, India. So now I have no doubt we have seen over 100,000 cows, and we're almost to our camp. So cross your fingers that goes good. We're almost there.
All right, we have a ride, and it turns out Snow has picked a beautiful place. They have a natural swimming pool right here. The sunset is going down. I don't know if you guys can see this. There's a little sitting area out here, and there's some lakes. So I'm hoping in the morning when I get up, there will be some birds out here. Wow, look at how beautiful this place is.
All right, guys, we found a nice camp. We're gonna watch this last little bit of sunset. Swing on a swing like a couple of little kids. Call it a night. So we will see you guys in a few days.
Cheers, guys.
If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you guys know when we put out new videos. And don't forget, you can always follow us over on Instagram to see what's going on in between videos. Cheers, guys.